than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look! Up in the sky! It's a bird! It's a plane! It's Superman!
Superman pocketed to Earth as an infant when the distant planet Krypton exploded. And who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild mannered reporter for the Daily Planet, fights a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and freedom with superpowers far beyond those of ordinary mortals.
It's Superman!
Late 2000s?
It's like, yeah. And I remember reading that. I'm like, that's really cool. And they're like, this is the future of climate change. I'm like, no.
Cartoonish.
Welcome, everybody, to Toon Talk 2.0.
Sure. Toon Talk 2.0.
It's the Talk of Tunes, the second version. Okay,
Hello, everyone.
why can they not see our video? What's going on here?
I don't know.
Oh, haha, I know why. I fixed
What?
it. I don't know how it happened, but I saw the problem. So now they can see us.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to I'm Eating a Cookie Before the Show 2.0.
Oh, I hate that show.
Why?
Hello,
It's really tasty.
I prefer orgasmic Kit Kat ice cream, but speaking of which,
13.
you'll appreciate this actually. Yesterday, it was a long day at work. I was outside a lot, so I had to drive somewhere far away, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I want a tasty treat. So I stopped by McDonald's.
You stopped in a gas station and met a man.
No. So I stopped at a McDonald's, and I was like, I'm going to get some ice cream. And I see an advertisement for this new S'mores McFlurry, and I'm like, that's it. That's what I'm going for. Except I didn't get a S'mores McFlurry. They gave me an Oreo McFlurry, but I didn't know that until I got in the truck and started driving. And plus, it's like, I mean, they would have given me a S'mores, but then I would have had 2 ice creams, and I was only going to be able to eat one before the other one melted. So here's the thing. So I have yet to try the S'mores McFlurry, but I kind of can't stop thinking about it now.
Thank you for our sponsors.
Pure Family Nutrition?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
This podcast is brought to you by Pure Family Nutrition and our friends at Casa de la Zissa. More on Casa de la Zissa later, but visit the first link in the description to learn how you too, you can save 25% off your first order by clicking that link in that description right there. I don't know this for a fact, but a source of the Daily Planet has told me that Superman enjoys pigs from Pure Family Nutrition.
That's totally his food of choice, if you will, his drink of choice. Thank you for that.
That was a decent little ad spot. That was a good one.
You're doing better. You're getting better.
Yeah. I have Superman as a crutch, so I can't fall down. You got
Superman in your crunch?
No, as a crutch.
Oh.
No, that would break my teeth if I had Superman in my crunch. That would be awful.
I always wonder if Superman got a lot of problems with his normal life and sexual life.
We've already had that podcast. Right?
I know, but I'm always wondering. I mean,
well, here's the thing. So, like, I don't know about you, but sometimes when I wake up in the middle of the night and have to, like, go to the bathroom or go to get a drink or something, I'll periodically stub my toe or, like, hit something on it. Well, if Superman's not, like, fully awake yet and he stubs his toe, he just breaks the furniture.
Yeah.
Like, that's a superpower worth having. Superman is incapable of stubbing his toe on planet Earth. It's not possible.
It's not happening.
No. So he doesn't know what that's like. That would be torture for him. To throw him on a planet with a red
Dude,
sun and
I
blindfold him.
see it
That
on
would be
his
awful.
face. A tooth pain, a simple headache
Yeah.
will be
It would be like
because he
torture
never
for
had
him.
one. Well, I don't know because when he's attacked with kryptonite, he has all the pain.
That's
in him.
true. So he would have gone through it, but it's
So he
it's not a
understands what pain
normal.
is.
Yeah, but it's not a normal.
Pain is.
Well, but he's taking punches from Doomsday. Well, he's been stabbed by Doomsday, but he's taking
He's been
punches from.
killed by
Yeah,
Doomsday.
but he's fought him since in other iterations. You know, Blockbuster, mech'd up Lex Luthor and Batman.
Yeah, he's not on. He's not.
Yeah, he's been hit a lot.
He knows what pain is.
Yeah.
The small pains that we suffer as humans, he's not used to them. Correct.
Superman may have legitimately never suffered a paper cut before.
Superman doesn't know what a paper cut is.
Yeah, because the only time that would happen would be at work or at home in like his office, because Clark Kent has an office.
Hold a second, because it's really clear when Jonathan Kent told him that his powers start coming out when he was 7.
Oh, so maybe okay, yeah.
So actually, he know what a rash is. As
Yeah.
a baby.
Okay, so he stubbed his toe. He's aware. Okay.
Maybe he was really lucky.
I doubt that, though. For 7 years,
and you know what?
living on a farm.
He's not a lucky guy. I mean, he lost his whole planet and family when he born, right? So.
But I mean, that's a decent silver lining consolation prize to become indestructible on your new planet. That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like in this. Like, I'm sure that he would rather have Krypton, but I mean, that's a solid consolation prize. That's not bad.
I prefer to have superpowers than have a family, to be honest.
I mean, here's the thing. I think more people. Here's the thing. I think more people would not publicly agree with you, but I think more people would agree with you than we would like to.
I'm not trying to say anything bad about my family, but if
I understand.
I get a chance to save the universe,
I understand. I get it.
And fly to do a podcast every Tuesday, or I mean, obviously, I will behave totally different than Superman. I wouldn't be a villain.
But you'd be like Hancock.
No, well, maybe, but no, not really. I think I will be like, I'll be like Batman, a little bit. Like I'll be tough for bad guys easily. I'll be like Punisher with superpowers.
Oh, that's a scary thought.
Yeah, I mean, like,
so you're Spawn. You'd be like Spawn. You'd be Spawn.
Yeah, okay, that's a good thing. Like Spawn.
Yeah,
but with a pretty face like this.
Yeah, because Spawn does not have a pretty face. However, I recently started watching. I watched the first episode, and I'm not sure if I'm going to continue. But the HBO animated series of Spawn.
It's not bad. I saw it when it came out.
It's not bad. It's not bad, but it's dated. Like, and I get it. It was animated in what, 1993? No, later than that. But
1997, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I was really young, and I wasn't allowed to watch it because it was.
Oh yeah, it's
13. And I remember I got scared with the clown.
I can see that. I think it's due for a reboot. I think Spawn is due for a reboot in multiple forms.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't know.
It's a superhero that is not well known. It's known for a niche.
Right, but and to be fair too, I think the whole superhero thing's it's not gonna go away necessarily, but it's gonna slow down because there's definitely franchise fatigue happening, which, to tie it back into Superman, I'm not expecting much from this upcoming Superman movie.
And that's what we're here for. That's how the fight is in our things. I really think it's gonna be a good movie.
I don't. I think they've got too much going on. I think James Gunn is not being restrained because in entertainment, there's something that happens. Some people, James Cameron used to be this way. Now I think James Cameron probably should be reined in a little bit. But James Cameron used to be somebody where if you were smart, you just let him go. And he will produce and make you money.
And he understood that with Titanic because he needed to stuck to a line.
Well, not just that. I mean, James Cameron, I'm not really sure when because I don't even think the first Avatar was too bad in terms of him like going nuts because of the type of project it was. But anymore, like, yeah, I think James Cameron needs, and there are creatives like Steven Spielberg is the type of person where you just let him go. You let Steven
Yeah, but
Spielberg
he
go.
got self-restraint.
I understand that. That's why you can let him go because he has
Yeah.
self-restraint. There are some people, and I talk about this in wrestling a lot, but it applies everywhere. There are some people who are fantastically creative.
Justin, just make $20, 12 minutes, 28 seconds. He's already talking about wrestling. Keep going.
No, I'm just saying they're wonderfully creative, but sometimes they need reined in. And James Gunn is one of those people.
Well, you got to understand that James Gunn has been doing it for years, and what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy worked perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's not the same Superman. Superman is a main franchise. Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't. Nobody was expecting anything because Guardians of the Galaxy was nothing. It was
see, I'm glad you said that.
Sub comic.
Yeah, I'm really glad you said that because I've said this numerous times over the years, and people always say, not everybody, but a lot of people say the same thing to me, and they're lying because I'm like, who would have thought that Guardians of the Galaxy, a third-tier Marvel comic that is essentially not a footnote, but it's not outside of...
It's not even third.
Yeah, like outside of hardcore comic book fans, nobody knows who these people are. And some people will be like, what? You didn't know who I'm like, you're like, you didn't know who Guardians of the Galaxy were? I'm like, first of all, you've never read a fucking comic in your life. I can tell by looking at it. Secondly, yes, and I said the same thing when Thor got his own movie. I'm like, really, Thor? You're gambling on Thor, which at the time, now it makes.
But let me tell you why. Because the situation is when Stanley starts selling rights.
I understand.
He sells the rights of what is gonna be happening, not because Thor deserves a movie. You're right.
Well, no, and now after I'm talking about when that movie first came out, I was like, why Thor? Not knowing that they were, and it became clear very soon after that they were going for Avengers, right? And then it made sense. But the idea of Thor having a standalone film franchise is kind of really
what I'm
weird.
saying is like when they were selling the parts to the studios, right? Mm-hmm. He didn't say, okay, you can have whatever in Marvel. No, you can have Star Wars. I mean, Spider-Man. You can have, and somebody say, what about that God? Well, that's Thor. It wasn't expected to be something important. Thor has always been a second or even third tier.
Right.
Guardians of the Galaxy, let me tell you when I learned about Guardians of the Galaxy. And I've been a comic reader for
when the movie came out. I'm not ashamed to admit
it. No. Did you know when Phoenix died, Dark Phoenix saga? This is 19... It would be 94, 96 when Jean Grey becomes Phoenix.
Oh, I think it would have been before that because the animated series did that in like I know it's in the 90s, but what I'm saying is the animated series had done that by the time
so
93.
Probably 92, 91?
Probably, yeah, probably.
It was in the 90s, I remember. It was 90 because when I become more obsessed with comics, I was buying many because I was in an age that I could just I wasn't a teenager, but I was getting there, so I know what I was consuming, cocaine and heroin. I'm just kidding. No, I know what I was consuming, and I went crazy because before Jean Grey turns Dark Phoenix, for the people that don't know, they've been sent to fight to defend her, and the X-Men fight against the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
So that's why how I go like, oh, because you realize that, and it's a crazy thing. You realize who Havoc and Cyclops' dad is. That's never been touched in the movies, right? So because we don't have Havoc. Do we have Havoc in the movies? I've never been an X-Men movie guy.
I want to say, I could be wrong here. I want to say he was a background character in the third Fox one. But I don't think he was even identified as Havoc. I just think he had the same power set,
the same outfit, and
yeah. That's what I think, maybe, or maybe it was in the. No, I don't. No, he can't be in the. not Chalamet timeline, McAvoy timeline. He can't be in that because he'd be too young.
You say Chalamet?
Yeah, yeah. I know it was wrong, but yeah, McAvoy.
Oh, okay. You know you're wrong. I'm like, what did you know?
Yeah,
that
no, I know I'm
scares
wrong.
me? No.
I
What
know
did
I'm
you know
wrong.
that I don't know that scares me to death? Chalamet.
Chalamet.
Yeah, you know what? That joke is gonna follow him the rest of his life. All his
That's.
success, all his
Do you
even
think that
redemption to me.
how? Okay, Justin, how the fuck is Havoc in X-Men First Class? I'm not like I believe you, but how? Why? How?
Can you remind us where is it?
That takes place in the '60s.
Well, because it's actually Scott's older brother. Havoc
No.
is Scott's older brother. Of
No.
course, yeah.
No.
Sir, Havoc is Scott's older brother.
No, he's his younger brother.
Fuck you! You weren't doubting that they were family.
No, I didn't doubt they were family. I'm saying I don't see how Havoc could have been in the movies if Scott wasn't there. He's the guy who shoots blasts out of his chest. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but that can't be Havoc. X-Men. Yeah, he sure is in X-Men First Class. There he is.
And can you tell me if he's an older brother or a younger brother?
That's what I'm looking at.
I'm pretty sure he's
Is Alex Summers is the younger brother of X-Men Cyclops.
Oh, sorry, I messed it up for the age.
Aha! I knew it.
Aha!
But yeah, so apparently he is in X-Men First Class. Anachronistic? Yeah, that's got to be it. But yeah, he is absolutely in X-Men First Class when he shouldn't be at all because he's Scott Summers' younger brother. And I think Scott may have not even been born yet in X-Men First Class.
No. They're like really close in age.
Yeah, they're close, but Havoc is the younger brother. I think they're only like a year or two apart.
Yeah. So he was in the first. Justin is right.
I know he's right, but what I'm saying is Havoc should not be in that movie because Alex Summers would most likely not have even been born yet, and certainly not have been an adult.
So,
but there he is.
I'm blinking here, and we don't have the Oracle to help us out today. But who the fuck is Scott and Havoc when it's Superman Day? Sorry, this is Superman Day. We're not gonna talk about the X-Men. No. Who was his dad?
That I will admit to not knowing a whole lot about like the deeper.
Actually,
X-Men
I think
lore.
the what is the name of Quint? What is the name of the leader of the leader of the? Yeah, I'm scratching my back with that little hand.
The leader of the what?
Of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Peter Quinn.
Yeah, Peter Quill.
Yeah, that's Scott and Havoc's dad in the comic.
Huh.
That's his dad in the comic. So I remember because they talk about that in the comic. So imagine how a mess that was totally 90s messy stuff.
Yeah, that's one of the because I'm sure there are several. Because in this it's saying he's the second of three sons of Christopher Summers, a U.S. Air Force major and test pilot.
I never heard that before.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's a version, and that's the thing. That's when comic book arguments are interesting because, like, we keep talking about Marvel, but Fantastic Four, everybody who was defending the female Silver Surfer online are like, yo, but it's in the comics. It's like it's in one relatively new telling of the story, and all the other times Silver Surfers do. So yeah, it's in the comics, but there are also versions that don't even get me started on the New 52 because there's a bunch of bullshit that happened in New 52 where now people can be like, well, it's in the comics.
Let me tell you something about the New 52. I got that audiobook.
Yeah.
I lost the audiobook. You gave me that audiobook back, remember, my last birthday? and I haven't been able to listen to it, read it. Every time that I'm going to start a comic, knowing that Superman, Wonder Woman, or Batman are not there, I just can't. I'm too loyal to everything.
Well, they're
and I
there.
have a problem with that. I know.
Maybe just not in the one. I know. In the particular one.
I'm too loyal to simple things. I really, when I like something, I stay there. And call me crazy and call me stupid. But sometimes when I'm going to try a different thank you. When I'm going to try a different tackle place or a different thing, I feel I betrayed my original tackle.
I know. I'm a creature. No, I get it. I'm a creature of habit.
It's not the habit. It's literally loyalty. You know how many times I want to change teams in the NFL? I can't. Even I want to.
The secret is to just not watch the NFL. Then it's easy.
Yeah, because you're a nerd. I'm a cool nerd. I watch sports.
I watch some sports. I watch college football.
Okay, that's college. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to go into that discussion with you. Superman. We have so much to
who could not play football because he would kill someone.
Actually, in the comic, he plays football in Smallville.
In some versions of the comic, to bring that home.
But let's talk about Prime Earth.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Prime Earth and movies. Sounds right to you? So in Prime Earth,
let's keep this.
Smallville, he actually plays, and that's a fundamental part how he learned to control his powers.
Which makes sense.
All the time he's with success because he's a average player.
He actually plays, and that's how pissed would you be? Well, first of all, what position does Superman play?
In the comic, quarterback.
Yeah, that's probably the best position for him to be in if he's trying to hide his powers, because he just has to worry about overthrowing, realistically.
Yeah, I
because
think that
if he's a defensive tackle, he's going to kill somebody. If he's a lineman, he's going to kill somebody.
He loses control. He trips If he trips himself by something, by any mistake, he kills somebody.
Well, but here's
somebody's feet.
He's essentially playing. Somebody save me. He is essentially playing flag football out there or touch football, because if somebody touches him, he has to go down for it to be believable. Because a normal person could not knock him down.
No, it will bounce.
He's too strong. Him. Yeah. So, that quarterback's a good position for Clark Kent to play. It's very challenging.
He was extremely smart, and if you're fast, tall, and see everything in slow motion, you're the best quarterback that ever existed.
But how pissed would you be if your team doesn't win a game? Because you know that all you would have had to do is kind of cut loose a bit.
But that teach him how to be.
I understand
reasonable.
That. I'm just saying that's a lot. That's a lot for a high school kid, and I commend that. That's a solid.
In my memory, it serves me well. In the comic that he does, that he actually avoid everyone and run by himself and made a touchdown. And then Jonathan Kent told him, "That's not how life is about. You cannot take everything and do everything by yourself." And he says, "Yes, I can. Yeah, but you shouldn't."
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the headphones for waiting. I've been in headphones all day, and this is my third set of headphones because every day I'm shuffling. You like my new glasses?
Your new what?
They're the Superboy glasses.
Oh, your glasses?
Actually, I got them from Superman. The series. Can you talk? I can barely hear you.
Now I can, because I couldn't hear you for a split second.
I said that I can't hear you at all. I got the right bands that the new show, Lewis and Clark and Lewis, whatever the name is. Yeah, he's gonna press something. I know he's gonna press something.
No, stop! Don't move! Don't move!
I'm not moving. Yeah. So anyway, I saw the show, and I went and looked at what glasses there were, and I got these ones. And you know what the coolest thing here? How do you call that in English when they become dark in the sun?
Oh, transition lenses?
Transition lenses. So I feel really cool.
I had those when I was in... the only thing I don't... And they're probably better now, but I had them when I was in elementary school, and they always stayed a little dark. I think the new ones are better.
But I would love if they stay a little dark. this is not dark at all, but seriously, the thing is, I spend so much time, and I'm not Superman, in front of a device.
Yeah.
I mean, you today went
Do
to work,
those
drove.
do
I
those
was in the
do
phone, and
do those do the blue light filtration too? Oh, see,
yes,
that's
it
yeah.
does everything. These are smarter than you and me. These glasses, as in something.
I do put square pegs in round holes, so that happens.
Anyway, Superman again.
Superman.
we're again like How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, that's
So
funny.
Superman.
That's how I feel about the Superman. Superman again. Like
Really?
okay, here's and take this with a grain of salt because don't get me wrong, I like Superman, but I'm not a diehard Superman fan. Like there are people out there that are diehard Superman fans. I don't think I've ever seen a Superman movie that I've legitimately loved. I think that
I'm with you.
Yeah, most of them are bad. There's a handful that are like okay.
I'm gonna
guess.
say this, and maybe this hot take. There's not even one good Superman movie. There are some that they're salvage and they're okay, but there's not even one movie.
Yeah, I won't argue. I've always very much more enjoyed, which is kind of weird when I think about it. I've always enjoyed Superman's animated outings more than anything. Not all of them. Some of them are a little unnecessary dark, and that's weird because Superman he's not a basic character, but on the surface he is. And that's why I think initially I didn't really find him interesting. But then, thanks to the Justice League animated series, I clicked why Superman is interesting is because he never needs to get stronger. He always needs to be in control.
He's the person with most control ever.
Yeah. And that's...
let me tell you something about Superman movies, if you allow me. They really suck.
I mean,
I always think that I'm with you. The animated movies are better, and I want to talk a lot about the one that it was released in 2020, The Man of Tomorrow. That I think the movie that we're gonna watch with James Gunn is totally based on that, but they're gonna change Mars. But for everyone that doesn't know this, every movie that we saw, they did a version similar in animated to see the ratings of the movie before. To see the ratings of the movie before.
Yeah.
Now, in this movie, Martian Manhunter is what will be Guy Rayner's here telling him, hey, this is the reality, right? Meanwhile, you're here in the Smallville and in the Earth. There's outside a whole universe of superheroes and people, right? So you're not the big thing that you are, and you can be better than you think you are, because let's dismantle this in a little psychological thing. You got the most powerful being in the universe, right?
Allegedly.
Raised by a...
He's up there. He's up there.
Who's stronger than him?
I mean, technically, I don't think Lobo's stronger, but
he's immortal. That's the difference.
That's what I'm saying. Technically, Superman can't win that fight because
but
Lobo
neither Lobo. Superman is he returned from dead already twice. His cells never die.
Oh yeah, that's valid.
But I mean, Doomsday could be another, but Darkseid, right? Even Grandma. But my point is, let's put it for the good of my conversation. Stay with me. You have the most powerful being in the universe, raised by a small, really honorable and nice, but a small-minded Central American in Kansas in a farm. Not even Kansas City. It's not a city, people. So the perception of a farmer, even I respect and I love, don't take me wrong, to have what I'm trying to say is like Sigmund Freud wouldn't be Sigmund Freud or Albert Einstein if they're born in a farm. Does it make sense what I'm saying?
It's not necessarily true, but I get the point you're making.
So I love the American way, and I love the love and the honorability of the Central, right? Kansas City people, well, Smallville people. But Jonathan Kent is always afraid of what society might do to him.
I mean, fair enough, but
but
it's
no, he's not a man of the world. That's what I mean. It's not Bruce Wayne.
yeah.
I'm
Oh, could
talking
you
about
imagine? Holy
psychologically.
shit! Talk about a twisted tale. Imagine in an alternate timeline where Superman is found by Martha and Thomas Wayne.
The guy will be probably a politician that appears to be good and suddenly turning the back in his followers and start picking up people and even open a, a telecommunication company.
I have a hot take. If that's the case, and they find Clark. Who's older, Clark or Bruce?
Bruce Solar.
That's what I thought. So let's assume
Almost
that Bruce.
10 years.
That's what I thought. So let's assume that Bruce is already born, and then Thomas and Martha Wayne find Clark. Right? So I predict in that universe, first of all, Thomas and Martha don't die because Clark can fuck up the guy with the gun.
Die.
No, hang on. In that universe,
okay, we're doing Jake universe, and I love it.
Yeah. So in that universe, I predict that Bruce Wayne becomes a villain because he doesn't have to go through the grief of losing his parents, and he's constantly being bested by his alien older brother.
No, because you need to remember that I'm with you, but Clark, what's the name of the dad?
Jonathan?
No.
Oh, Thomas. Thomas.
Thomas Kent was a really good person that cared about society, and he was a doctor. He saved lives for a living.
Well, I know, but that's what I'm saying. No, Thomas isn't.
He will
Bruce.
Be extremely educated.
I'm talking about Bruce.
Oh, you're talking about Bruce? No, I think that it will. They come on, Bruce. He will be a playboy gigolo. He wouldn't even care about saving people. He will be a selfish person.
Now, conversely, all things being equal, but let's say Clark's too young and he doesn't have his powers yet.
He will be Robin.
No. And Thomas and Martha still die. I think you eventually have Bruce just financing Superman.
Oh, exactly like now.
Basically, yeah. But I'm saying he wouldn't need to become Bat. Although they probably would have had an early disagreement because Batman's whole deal is he wants to make criminals afraid, and Superman's all like, yeah.
But like you say, Bruce wouldn't be Bruce because his dad and mom, wouldn't.
That'd be a fun thing to explore. Is all I'm saying. That'd be an interesting alternate.
Two things, Justin. It will depend on the version of Jonathan Kent. Let me talk about it in a second. Let's put a point on that and then go back to that. Yes, exists a comic like that, and it's fairly recently. Yeah, you're correct, and that's what I'm pulling now. Let me go back. The problem with Jonathan Kent is we always have the same version until the movies. It was fairly the same character until the movie.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill. Why? I don't understand why somebody say, hey, we have Kevin Costner. He's too expensive. Oh, don't worry. You're going to kill him. Because I'm pretty sure it was like that.
We
already have Batman. We don't need that.
Yeah,
we needed the foundation that I'm talking about, a good family.
Yeah, I've literally said this I don't know how many times on the internet, and I'm going to say it again. That might be the dumbest scene in Man of Steel because it just doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, your son can travel at a speed at which no one would see you, and you could literally he could run, grab you, you can both literally run to the other side of the state and then come right back after the tornado passed and then crawl out of the ditch and be like, oh, I got out of the way just in time.
I'm not going to justify because I'm with you. However, this brings me to my point. Jonathan Kent in that movie, he's so small-minded that he's like, oh, don't let him see you. Don't let him see you. So he put fear.
Yeah, not only that, the rest of the movie flies in. Like, it's weird because there are moments in the movie, like Clark has that weird moment when he's in the snow and he's talking to his dad ghost, but it's not really a ghost, it's in his mind.
Your L.
No. I'm talking about Jonathan.
Oh, yeah. Wait. You mean the replica of the Empire Strikes Back? When he says, Ben, you're going to go to the Dagobah system. Ben, it's exactly the same shit.
Except that everything that happens once he puts on the cape flies in the face of what Jonathan Kent was talking about. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all.
It's what happened, and I'm not gonna judge them because they have more mainstream movies than us, and I respect that. I don't want to be an asshole, but I'm gonna be honest. A lot of directors and writers, they need to check their egos before tapping into a culture that is created by people without egos. And that's a big problem. The comic book culture is people that they don't have egos, because if they have egos, they wouldn't be reading comics. They will be playing basketball, right? And that's a reality.
I won't argue.
You can tell by they don't care about the story. They care about their name in the story.
Mm-hmm.
And I really hope that this movie, listen to me, is surrounded by so many things that actually Superman stay intact. The only movement that he says so far that he did is that he didn't make him as powerful. And I actually like that, because the Superman that we're watching is a younger Superman than the one that we have with Henry Cavill. So everything evolves. The Superman that we're used to is a Superman of 35 to 38 years old. That's the Superman that we're used to. I'm talking about the Superman of the TV shows, the one that talks like this and is the captain, the chief of the Justice League. Yeah. That's 36, 38 years old.
I was going to say the shows, except for Sailor Superman. Yeah, he's older.
No, but like Batman is 45.
Yeah.
And the Superman that we're going to see is around 28. So the way that you mature from 28 to 38, I hope that's the trilogy of James Gunn, and I hope that he's considering that. And the movie has a Godzilla fighting, right, with a monster of Japan. He got, and I don't dislike that, because Superman life is supposed to be that busy.
Yeah.
Fighting with this, fighting with that, the enemy. I think, like in A Man of Tomorrow, in the comic and the animated movie of 2020, that Lex Luthor is there to help Superman, but they try to control him. Just like it, I'm pretty sure, mark my words, really, we're going to watch Man of Tomorrow for 2020, adapted with different monsters that they don't have the rights. Why we have the man that takes everything? We're going to see that. That absorbs. I don't want to ruin it for people. I've been reading more than I supposed to, and thanks to AMC Theory, I'm gonna watch it 2 days before everyone. So I'm really excited of that. Yesterday I wrote you because I had a secret. You saw that?
Oh, did it end up being Fantastic Four?
Not even one of those, and I'm really disappointed.
Bummer.
If I was Fantastic Four, I don't care. It was midnight. I was called to wake you up. It was a really bad movie called the Henderson, The Freemans. Canadian movie. Justin, please tell your people not to make movies again. That's how bad it was. Let me go back to what I was talking, and I got sidetracked. I apologize.
Well, before you go there, and speaking of people with no egos, we're going to hear a quick word from our friend, Dr. Peter Zissa, and his nonprofit, Casa de la Zissa. So give me a little break from the nerdiness. It's for more musical nerdiness. Anyway, here's the video.
CDZ Collegia Musica is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. It is a kind of school of music, a concert series, and an agency that promotes the musicians, dedicated artists, and educators who we feature as our performers. The goal of the Collegium is to bring community together through music performance. These performances vary in musical style, from classical to jazz, and music from different parts of the world, from India to the Middle East, that'd be like Persia, and Japan, and China. The goal is to also educate us to how music functions, not so much as a musical universal language, because there are differences in the way that these languages of music are expressed. but to educate us to be able to be more appreciative, not only of the music, but the culture it represents. And by doing this, it brings community together.
And that's the reality of Superman.
My mind is blown. It's unbelievable.
I'm joking, guys. We weren't talking. We're actually talking about Peter Sisa.
Well, no, actually,
saying
you were showing everybody your tiny little X-wing.
I was showing it to you, and I was waiting for the call, but yeah, I gotta.
And your TIE fighter.
A TIE fighter. What they call TIE fighter? Oh, the guy! Remember? Blue Harvest. I don't know what they call it. A TIE fighter.
It's okay. So I think isn't it actually the corporation?
What?
It's like TIE. Isn't that the corporation that makes them?
No, I got.
Well, no, because it's the Incon T65 X-wing. So isn't it just
the X-wing is the other ones? I'm a little lost. What are you talking about? We're talking about Superman here.
Hang on. Now, because twin ion engine. That's why.
Yeah, whatever. Let's go back to Superman, please. Because the third time that I want to talk the layers of psychology. Superman, the person that he is a mind before he discovered that Jor-El is his dad, and that's the matureness that we don't see in the movies from Henry Cavill. What is the name of the director? I always forget.
Oh God. We talked about him last week. It's not 300.
Jerry Singer.
No. Fuck.
I always confuse them. Anyway, let me.
Zack Snyder.
It's nice. Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder make a good point there. From the time that he doesn't know who Superman is, to the point that he knows who he is and the evolution. Thank you, Justin. Zack Snyder. You're really close to become the new Oracle, but not yet there. Not yet. Keep working hard, Justin. We love you.
We need to have Oracle Jeopardy.
Anyway, but stay with me. Clark Kent, as a human being, is a nice, kind man, but he's really afraid and full of traumas because he doesn't know who he is. He understands where he comes from. He's loved by his mom and his dad, but the narrow-minded of a farmer in that age. Remember that we're talking in 1934.
Oh, the first one, yes.
Oh, the first. Yeah, it's been adapted, right? But again, I'm not talking about any farmer. I'm just saying
can we just be real for a second? Especially based on what we saw from Back to the Future. If a farmer found a spacecraft in the 1930s, he'd have just shot it. In Kansas. He didn't just shot the fucking thing.
Jonathan Kent was really nice.
Yeah.
It was a good man. He wanted to please Martha Kent because they're really old to have a kid, but they always wanted to have one. So they see it as a sign of God.
Hey, good thing it was an icon.
No, but you know what I mean? And Clark Kent grows to be a kid that is bullied. He's a love kid, but he's not well adapted to society. Mom and dad look like grandpa or grandmom. He doesn't until, and then you have the most powerful humanoid in the universe. Humanoid is better, right?
Yeah.
Being built by the University of Kansas. By the psychology of that. It's not until after that he learns about Jor-El. And he retrieves 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
5 years to learn about the immensity of the universe. When he comes back, now we have a control man, a man without fear, and that's what it doesn't make sense. It makes sense a little bit that Jonathan Kent sin, because at that point he's not Superman. He's a scared little kid from Kansas. Not even Kansas, from Smallville. However, killing Jonathan Kent is a really, really big mistake because he never dies until Superman is 43 years old. That changed the whole perspective in a life development. Grew up with a dad and without a dad, right? Everybody knows that. So anyway, yes, you are well versed at Oracle. My point is, go a second. I was gonna finish.
Yeah. I have to clarify one thing so that the people in the comments don't be like, well, actually, so.
Oh, my point is that if we understand that timeline, and if James Gunn's respect that timeline, we're not gonna see a naive Superman that is played really stupid by many. Superman, not Clark Kent. Clark Kent is a normal kid of America, from Central America, full of fears, doubts, happy, a sportsman, right? Good, from a good, decent family. Superman is a man with the vision of the universe through a cyclopedia.
You can also shoot him in the eye and nothing happens. Brandon Routh showed us that.
I know, and that's what I love so much, the show of the new one of HBO, Lewis and Clark. Why? Because he got 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
We already passed the 40-year-old thing, and he's like 40. He's probably 47, 48 when the kids are 12, when the show starts. Probably a little younger for the actor, but in the timeline.
Yeah.
And I think that was a big success because it has it's an archetype well designed, is the character development and the development of the curve of growing. And that's something that is missing in Zack Snyder's movie. The information is there, but then you have just pieces of information here and there that it's absurd.
Yeah. The more I watch, every time I watch Man of Steel, I like it less because it's really disjointed. There's not a lot of glue holding these scenes together.
The reality
which is a real shame.
Henry Cavill.
I was going to say it's a real shame because I loved Henry Cavill as Superman. As Clark Kent, but as Superman, loved it.
Yeah,
but
I will
that's
never
it.
believe that people don't realize. Because let me go to Christopher Reeve.
It's a very distinct chin.
Yeah, and Christopher Reeve, I'm very distinct everything, bro. I mean everything. Christopher Reeve is clear that when he's dressed as Clark Kent, his suits are 3 sizes bigger.
Mm-hmm.
He grows like a chum. His voice is thinner, right? So the glasses is just a little extra. He wears a hat almost all the time. And when he's Superman, he's poised. His voice is deeper, right? It's like something like Max and Virus Box, something like that.
Look at my giant pecs.
Yeah. Anyway, another point that why the TV show is my favorite, because it starts when they move back to Smallville, when Martha Kent died. So everybody will see Clark as Clark. Yeah. He doesn't need to act. Because in Metropolis, he needs to be acting. Here, he doesn't need to act. He could be without the glasses. What happened in the 3rd season? No, spoilers alert. In the 3rd season, everybody knows that he's Superman and lives there. And no one cares.
To be fair, if you know Superman lives in your town, what are you going to do? Go to his house and rob him?
No, the opposite. They realize that it's a danger, but he's there to protect them.
Right.
Now, I really believe that the whole double... For example, if I have the Superman powers right now, it wouldn't be I don't have a dual personality. It's stupid. It was good for that time when Jerry Schuster wrote it, but it's stupid. Superman doesn't suppose. Did you guys in the comments and do you watch the Soviet Superman?
Red Son, yes.
It doesn't have another personality. It's unnecessary.
Well, it is though, because it's not for his protection; it's for his family's protection.
I know, but let's be honest.
Yes, but his best friend ends up in a gulag in that movie because they know that she knew him.
I get that, but my point is, in the 3rd season, that's what this TV series is so good. Is unnecessary. Is respected, but unnecessary.
Right, in a place like Smallville, yeah, because I mean,
But then the world knows that he's Superman. In the last season, everybody knows that Clark Kent is Superman. He say it. And again,
he have an Iron Man moment. He's like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it, I am Superman. Come
yeah,
at
they
me,
call
bro.
Cat Grant and they go on TV and say it.
Yeah,
Because
Lex Luthor finds out who he is and kidnaps his mom. Martha.
I know, but that's a really bad movie too.
It is and it isn't. That's another one though. Every time I watch it, I like it less because I understand the issues. I just really like seeing Batman beat up Superman. I'm a fan.
Okay, yeah, we're probably more fans of Batman than Superman, and it's not fair for this conversation. But
That's fair.
I want to make something extremely clear that is not clear in the comics. It's not online. It's just on Reddit. And if you go 4 years back or 5 years back, you will see that I'm saying it. I got 100,000. Probably is one of my. I got 2 posts that there is my Reddit more action, and this one is the second one that I'm really clear that that's not Lex Luthor. This one is Alexander Luthor Jr. He talks about his dad all the time. This Lex Luthor that we're seeing in that movie is the son of Lex Luthor that died because of cancer, because he was wearing the ring of kryptonite that poisoned his life. So it's a traumatized little kid that is not Lex Luthor. This one is Alexander Luthor II. So if you put that in perspective, that makes a little sense.
It makes more than a little sense. It makes a lot more sense.
But the director is like, forget about it. Nobody cares. And that's the problem. We care a lot about comics.
To be fair, that is the problem with Zack Snyder, generally speaking. Nobody cares. It's like, well, no. Well, actually, it turns out that good storytelling involves, details.
Explaining. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like 300 or the second part. I do not.
Well, to be fair, the second part is dog shit. It's not a good movie. The first one, in terms of it being a spectacle, it's a good movie. Well, okay.
It's a good story, and the aesthetics of the movie are amazing. The rest is a piece of shit.
I'm gonna rephrase what I said, because is it a good movie in the sense that like the Academy should take a look at it? No, but is it entertaining? Absolutely. But
Cheech and Chong is entertaining too, bro.
Hey, it's valid. It's valid.
But you don't go into the comic era or side of things. Okay, right now they call me and they tell me, we want you to direct the next Batman. I will say no. I need to direct 2 more, and then I go to the Batman.
That's fair.
Because you need to understand the culture of that. Why the actor needs to go all method and leave the beard down, and
because they're not as good of an actor as they think they are.
No. Wait. And why the director is not even reading one of the comics? He's saying, I want to make this so I can make that. That's my point. The directors, whoever that directs a comic book, a manga, an anime, a comic book, or
well, when you're talking about anime and manga adaptations, I think a good director would take one look at most projects and say, I can't do this.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Now, what the problem is that they take the project and they want to put their input on it.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that James Gunn wouldn't do that. He's actually resetting Superman.
Oh, but Superman. He is. We've already seen it.
Wait. Resetting Superman, and the environment is James Gunn. But I hope Superman is back, because he's using, I mentioned this in the last podcast. Kevin Smith says, actually him using the same theme, right, readapted, using the same outfit with the shorts out, is trying to give us that. He got a problem, James Gunn. Everything that he will do, people are already expecting the worst. Society now expects the worst and hope for the best. Back in the day, they hope for the best, right? Expecting that, the 80s, I just watched Superman 3.
Yeah.
It's a disgrace. Do you remember the movie?
What is it with a lot of those number 3s? Like even Jaws 3 was like, ugh.
Well, the Return of the Jedi, they even use it.
Okay,
I'm with you.
That's not as bad. Like Return of the Jedi is not bad. Well, yeah, but saying that it's the worst of the original trilogy is like saying it's made out of bronze instead of gold.
Okay, I'm gonna
like,
say something that you're gonna hate me for,
probably, but
but
I'm
probably
used to it.
the worst or
It
the
is
one
not.
before the worst of everyone.
No. Return of the
I know
Jedi.
that.
Return of the Jedi is better than the entirety of the new trilogy and over half of the prequel trilogy.
No,
Yeah, dude,
no,
Return
no,
of the
no, no,
Jedi is great. It's
no.
great.
It's not. They had Ewoks in it.
How
Anyway,
how how am I okay? But you know why you don't like it. Barney explained why you don't like it. You're just too old to appreciate Return of the Jedi.
no, no. First of all, it's not that I'm old. I was a kid when I saw it. It was perfect for my market. I hate it. Anyway, we're gonna go back to Superman. Not Star Wars. No politics. No wrestling today. Superman.
Speaking of which,
Superman.
did you watch Worlds Collide?
Remind me.
It's the AAA WWE cross
What I will
promotion show.
watch that if it's wrestling. I watch sports when you hit yourself for real.
Bro, don't even begin to tell me. You already said that you liked Penta, who's not on the show, unfortunately, but
I like wrestling if I want to see the same day that I watch the Cirque du Soleil. Good acrobatics,
well,
fantastic performance, great lighting.
yeah, I was
But
gonna
if I want to
say.
see a hit, I will go and watch the fucking NFL.
I was gonna say it's not always Cirque du Soleil, but in AAA it is always Cirque du Soleil.
That's always
In AAA, it's always Cirque du Soleil.
Even the guys, testosterone Cirque du Soleil.
Even the guys that aren't high flyers are Cirque du Soleil in AAA.
And I love the athleticism and the stories are enchanting, but it's not a thing that I will watch every weekend, even if it's on Netflix.
Yeah. I haven't finished it yet, but thus far I've been. I'm not gonna say underwhelmed, but I've been. But anyway, yes, Superman.
Again.
Martha.
Yeah, Martha. I really hope that it looks like they kill Martha in this one, because there's a scene. I'm assuming this, that he's hugging his dad in the porch. It looks like Martha is dead. And if Martha is dead, that's an homage of Superman 4, Superman 3 that they mentioned that Martha is dead. The one with Christopher Reeves. Like I say, I was talking about that. I started watching it because it was the one that I couldn't recall. Bro, what is it with the director and the writer making comic beats the first 2 minutes of the movie where a guy gets paint and put an umbrella to cover the paint? Take the umbrella and the paint goes there. A blind guy loses his dog and it's like, dude, what are we watching? Benny Hill in the 80s? Dude, whoever that wrote that, I hope you're not alive or working in the entertainment anymore. Whoever that wrote Superman 3, can you tell us who wrote Superman 3, Justin, please? It's so bad. What is the name of the actor that is in Superman 3, the black comedian? Famous, legendary black comedian.
Oh, Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor being there. It's like, dude, the special effect of the bubble at the end. Please stop. It's a really bad movie. If you can avoid it, just avoid it.
David Newman.
What else David Newman has done in his life?
Oh, I'm sorry. Written by David and Leslie Newman.
Okay, so he wrote it with his wife.
Yeah. Oh, that explains
my point. Yeah, it's a comedy. It's a bad comedy. It's not even
to be fair, the movie poster is Superman carrying Richard Pryor, so I mean, yeah, it's a comedy.
No, it's a comedy. It's a comedy, but it's absurd that in the first, Clark Kent is convincing Perry White to let him do a news of him going back to his high school reunion. Are you listening to what I'm saying? And at the same time, Perry White gets interrupted 4 times because he needs to put the bingo numbers to make a gift to the workers of. It's like, what else they did, these writers?
Let's see.
Because they're really bad.
I was gonna say, I'm guessing not much.
Oh, it's a really bad script. If you guys wanna humor me and go and watch it, it's in HBO. you're gonna be like, you know, I promise you, you will watch.
He went to the
7.
University of Michigan. That's why. I'm kidding.
No, that's
Let's
that.
see.
I mean,
Well, okay, hang on.
to be
Maybe,
honest,
maybe
hold on a second.
maybe it's not his fault.
Give me a second. For all I say, if you go to the University of Michigan, you can win a world NCAA championship, and even they tell you 30 times, we don't have more times. You call a timeout. Yes, Chris Webber, the Fabulous Five. You fuck it up. Anyway, keep going.
So, David Newman.
No, as a team. What they wrote as a
well,
team.
I can't look up what they wrote as. Oh, okay. So, as a team, they wrote La Fille d'Amérique in 1977. They co-wrote Superman and Superman 2.
Okay, more to my point.
Still of the Night. They co-wrote. Oh, sorry, no, that they did not co-write that one. Sorry. Let's see.
Well, what a shame.
Yeah, that was it. Although apparently, Mr. Leslie.
He got the name of a woman, so let's keep moving.
No, Newman. I'm sorry, his wife's name is David Newman. Co-wrote "It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's Superman" on the theatrical stage in 1966.
Okay, I'm gonna stop there. So the guy sucks. Let me tell you. I'm gonna ask you this, and this is a trivia for everyone out there. Do you know who Jerry Seinfeld's favorite superhero is? Right?
Superman.
You think that's what Newman is called? Newman?
Probably. Knowing Jerry Seinfeld and how
and probably because he destroys Superman. I mean, he make it a clown.
Yeah. Speaking of clown, I have to ask you before we close: have you seen the trailer for the new Naked Gun movie?
Oh, I miss you, Dad. And the O.J. Simpson guy.
Nah. What do you want, little?
It's gonna be legendary. You see, when you do a comedy, just for the beginning, when you look at him without the mask, dressed as a girl.
Your ass. This movie looks so funny. Here's the thing. Like, I love Leslie Nielsen. Okay, Leslie Nielsen. It was funny. The first time I watched the trailer, I saw Liam Neeson, and I went, huh? And then I thought about it for like a split second. I'm like, no, this is perfect.
It's perfect.
Absolutely perfect.
And him getting out of his comfort zone of being the guy from Taken is fantastic.
No, that's why it's perfect. Because here's the thing. A lot of people don't realize this. Liam Neeson is hilarious. But
he's hilarious.
Liam Neeson can play... Honestly, he might be the best straight man since Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah.
I mean, because here's the thing. Liam Neeson is funny in so many movies, but because he's the straight man in all of it. I like his bit in the first Ted where he's buying the tricks, which is a direct reference to his Taken character.
Oh, I forgot about that, yeah.
But, like, that's so funny because it is literally Brian Mills from Taken just making sure that he can purchase tricks and not have to, like, fight the law in order to do it. And that's why it's such a great bit. And that's why him being in the new Naked Gun franchise is this movie's going to be hilarious.
It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be
so great.
When it's coming out? You know when it's coming out?
I've been led to believe that these are exclusively for children. I mean, yeah, they say tricks are for kids, but I mean, anybody can buy them.
Do you remember the Naked Gun, the first movie? What is the scene that you remember the most?
I don't, dude. It's been so long, and I always get it. I always get bits from that movie confused with certain bits from Airplane and Wrongfully Accused.
Okay.
I just, I can't remember.
I got two that comes to my mind when they say they're gonna have safe sex and they have a full condom to the floor. That scene, it was hilarious, man. That's one of the funniest things ever. And the one with O.J. Simpson falling in the stadium with the chair. Those two.
Okay.
Naked Gun, gonna get to that. Well, Airplane, bro. The beats of Are You Nervous? Yeah. It's your first time. No, I've been nervous before. And the drinking problem is the best joke ever. I got a drinking problem.
Well, and the autopilot gags, and then there's a gag in the airplane that only I seem to find hilarious, and it's
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
No, everybody finds that funny. No, it's the bit when I think it's the military guy they're driving, but every time they cut to the medium shot, the background changes.
The vice is taking something out. It's fantastic. What are you talking about?
So many people don't find that as funny as me, and I just
really? No, it's me. I mean, maybe because we're friends, but no, I found that
giggling like a child. And then the slap train.
And you know that actor had a show. He was the Untouchable. He was Elliot Ness. So make it even funnier because he's always serious in the other shows.
Yeah,
anyway.
But then of course maybe the most iconic Leslie Nielsen bit. Surely you can't be serious. I am serious, and don't call me sure.
Don't call me Shirley.
But that's what I'm saying. And I'm happy because that sort of dry, say yes to everything comedy, it's gone, and hopefully this brings it back.
I think it's coming back in the rain moment because now the whole new awoken thing is totally gone right now. You can see it in the TV. You can see it everywhere. Sadly, it's bringing other political issues, right? But at least it's on entertainment. That's our specialty in this show. We're going to talk politics. We're not going to talk other things.
Sure.
I'm trying not to.
I know.
I'm trying not to. Well, my point is Superman is going to be amazing. I think it's going to be amazing. I hope you can give it a shot.
I'm going to give it a shot. Here's the thing, and this is what I want everybody to understand. I want this movie to be good. However, I have concerns.
I know, but let me communicate this to the audience. After making a podcast for years with you, because now it's been years, you need to program yourself to expect for the worst because your generation, millennial, to come with a good opinion, because if you expect the best and it's not, you're gonna hate it. I'm the opposite.
Oh no, my bar is very low for this movie.
No, that's what I'm saying. So if it's okay, you're gonna be like, hey, it wasn't that bad. But if you're expecting a good thing and it's not, you're gonna hate it. And that's part of your generation. My generation is totally the opposite. It's like, no matter what, we have another Superman, right? I hope it's amazing. And I will like it no matter what. I will like it no matter. It needs to be something really, really bad for me to dislike it. First of all, I think the casting of this Superman is really good. For what I said of the age of Superman, right? He's a Superman younger than Henry Cavill. I don't know if you know about the actor. He's a fan of Star Wars. He became an actor just because he wanted to be in Star Wars. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm. I have not.
The guy can make, with noises and everything, the whole last scene of a Star Wars. When they shot on, you got it, kid, and he make the voices, and he's driving and doing it. The guy is a fan. They have many interviews, and they told him, what do you think about being Superman? It's amazing. That's the movie that you always dream. No, I always wanted to be in Star Wars.
It's good. That's good to hear, because at least we won't have but we won't have a Rachel Zegler where it's like, you get. And I think Cavill was stoked to be Superman, but so this isn't directed at Cavill. But you wouldn't want someone playing Superman to be like, well, I mean, yeah, the underwear on the outside's kind of gay. Which I know Cavill didn't say that. That was...
No, but Cavill, he's a unique English type of nerd. He played Warhammer. He played Dungeons and Dragons. He's not necessarily a comic fan. As John Berthel. Do you know what? Can I tell you a story about when he got the role of Punisher? Do you know that?
I want to say yes, but I don't remember it, so please.
Let me share it with you and the audience. He got a call he wants to go in and make the casting.
Yeah.
He knew about Punisher, but he wasn't a fan. He was not knowledgeable about Punisher. He read the script. He does the casting. They call him and said, you got the role, man. Congratulations. He's stoked. He's in LA. He goes to a comic store,
I did hear this, yeah, but it's great. It's a great story.
It's announced everywhere. So he goes to the store, and the guy in the West Coast is like, "Man, congratulations! Take this comic seats on the house, right? Take more, make us proud, right?" And then he took the comics, fly for other reasons to New York. When he lands to New York, he want to read more, so he goes to a comic store in New York, and the guy look at him and, "I know who you are. If you mess this up, I'm gonna kick your fucking ass." That's totally East Coast.
Yeah,
America East Coast. So it's fantastic, man. I
yeah.
think that,
And that's what you want. Like you want, even if somebody isn't, because there have been other
commitment.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing, because which is why my opinion of Robert Pattinson has softened a little, but not a lot. But that's what you want, somebody who, let's say somebody gets cast in a big comic book role, and maybe they're not familiar with the comics at that point, but when they get the role, they go deep, kind of like what Heath Ledger did with Joker, because he wasn't.
Yeah, of course.
He wasn't a fan. He wasn't a fan, but
he became a fan of it because his hard work on it. Mm-hmm. And that's what I say, commitment is the key. I'm going to say something that is a hot take, and I don't care. If I get crucified again, I don't care. But I think the biggest mistake of Henry Cavill is that he's not American. And Superman is an American hero. Stay with me.
I mean, no, I don't disagree with that.
And it's exactly cool. Imagine that today they say, "Virus, you're going to be the next Batman." I can act. I know Batman upside down psychology, but I got an accent. It doesn't work. Even I work with my accent with a coach for 3 years, and you can feel my accent. I'm not a born American for an American institution that is Batman. However, I just put that as an example. But the reality is that America has two heroes, Captain America and Superman. That's the American heroes.
I would say they have one, but
no, but
yeah, I'm following.
My point is, it's really hard to have a perfect physique with great acting skills, because I'm not criticizing Henry Cavill at all. He acts really good.
I see what you're saying, though, because there's a difference.
There's a difference in how you're gonna love growing. I could not play Batman, bro. Even I love it. I could play Green Lantern. I could play Robin. I could play the Joker. You could play Elastic Man. You could play Flash, but you cannot be Superman either.
No, I could never,
because we're not, and I understand why the studios. It's hard to find everything. I said, well, he got everything, but he's not American. It's okay. This guy that is playing it, he is everything. He's a good actor. He got the physique because he's 6'4" or 6 something. He doesn't underneath the outfit, right? He's buff. He looks like a Superman, a young Superman. And he's a good actor. So he has it all to deliver. And if you remember that the last movies of Superman were saved by the actor, I'm hoping that this time is the same. Lois Lane, before we go, this Lois Lane looks like fucking.
I was going to say, finally.
Finally. Don't get me wrong. I can take out the other Lois Lane every day of the week. The one from Henry Cavill.
But not as Lois Lane.
She looks like Lana Lang.
Yes.
Again, when the director wants to make his own version and everything comes to respect and not be selfish.
Like they couldn't even dye her hair or put her in a wig.
Bro, I've been thinking a lot about this, and I know I promised the production, not politics, and I promised not everything. But seriously, the only thing I'm asking all around in everything from now on, don't do it for me, do it for yourself. Respect everybody's job, dedication, and don't be selfish.
Mm-hmm.
If Joe Shuster, and what is the other creator of Superman? Singer? Siegel. They create something. Respect them and make your version without insulting them. We've been through this with many movies. We don't need. I understand we need to transform. I get why you put an African American Perry White. It's absurd because his name is White.
But that's
It's
not, well,
absurd
no,
because his name is White.
that's not the first time they've done that, though. I've seen a Black Perry before.
But like I said, yeah, in the last one with Jerry Singer.
No, but even other than that, there are other versions. At least I think.
Remind me.
Oh no, well, shit. Now I want to say there was animated ones.
Oh yeah, after the first.
Yeah, okay, that's fair because I think it was Justice League War.
But... And I get it, and I don't dislike it.
Yeah, but that's a minor character too.
Yeah,
that's not.
You're not gonna make Othello from Denmark and White. There's things to respect about Shakespeare. There's things to respect about Schuster. I'm not putting it in the same level.
Well, yeah, but Othello is not exactly a background character.
No, but what I'm saying is, if we respect things, it's like when you're watching a movie, right? And the guy behind is criticizing the movie in the movie. He's not respecting the other people that they pay their ticket and we don't know what efforts they did.
Yeah.
He's not respecting the writer. He's not. Wait till the movie ends.
That's fair. What I mean. That's fair.
Just respect other people's efforts. Yesterday, the movie that I went to see, it was a bad script, yes. The acting was overwhelmed and not perfect, yes. But what I say, this is the new virus box, okay? This is the virus box of therapy every week. Are you ready?
No, God.
No, I said, what do you think? I say, I think it's a really bad movie, but I celebrate that they convince somebody and make it to the big screen. And they put their heart on it. I celebrate that.
That's fair. I will say, I will take a bad movie over a lazy movie.
Yeah.
Any day. Because there are some movies that are just lazy. Looking at you, Lilo and Stitch. Just lazy.
Do you like Lilo and Stitch? Do you like it?
No, the new one. The original one is fantastic. No. Because everything that was good about it was in the original.
You know what? There's something I want to touch on that. First of all, let's respect the people that put their heart to do that, because without entertainment, it will be hard to go on. Stay with me. I never watched the original.
So that's why you liked it.
Really good.
Yeah, that's why you liked it. Just know that everything you liked in this new one was in and done better in the original.
Or just done differently.
Well, but that's just it. It wasn't done all that differently. So,
no, but that's good. That's a new trend. Have you watched How I Trained Your Dragon?
No, and I don't want to, because apparently
I watched it twice. It's exactly the same as the original that I never seen. I never seen the original. Yeah. I saw it twice, and it's really good, man.
Because the original's really good.
Okay, great. Now they're touching another market, doing it with real people. But again, respect that they're doing something for the people that we don't like. I don't like Disney animations. They're boring for me.
Well, How to Train Your Dragon is not Disney animation, so.
Well, you know what I mean. The guy was from Disney, whatever. My point is, I prefer that they make it exactly the same, and respect that they want to make another Snow White.
I mean, see, to me, it always comes back to the same thing. Is if you're gonna remake something, or not even remake, if you're gonna do an adaptation, that's fine. Just do it well. And if you're just gonna remake the same movie shot for shot, then just watch the original.
I'm pretty sure they watched the original.
Well, I know, because they might as well have just rotoscoped the damn thing. Except it was already animated, so it would have been.
I never saw the original, Justin. I never saw the original How to Train Your Dragon. I just want to watch the new one, and I really like it. Personal touch.
It's a great movie.
Ozzy just passed. Everybody knows I was extremely touched. One thing. Now, I understand what you're saying, but I prefer that they do it exactly the same. Like, people don't know, and I think we talked about this before. Peter Jackson copied the animation of 1977 of The Lord of the Rings.
But not the whole movie. He took a couple of scenes. No.
Even the position of the camera, Jake. Even the position of the camera, bro.
But not in every scene. There were a handful of scenes, yes.
Yeah, the one that there were badly special effect done in the animation, he did it better.
You'd have to point to the scene.
I'm seeing them side by side, and it's absurd the position of the camera is the same.
I know, but it's not the whole movie. That's what I'm saying.
No, the ones that they look bad here in the original is the one that he did different, but not to change it, just to improve them. But he never
and
left.
that's fine because he didn't just remake
Maybe
shot for
Lilo
shot
and
movie.
Stitch and How I Had to Train Your
You
Dragon.
almost said How I Met Your Mother.
How I Met Your Dragon. That would be a funny thing. Anything. I think that I'm gonna quote you with a grain of salt. I expect everyone just give it a shot to Superman.
I will give it a shot.
Go there and expect to have a good time. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't want to break everyone's heart. Are you ready? Superman doesn't exist. Nobody gives a fuck about us.
You shut your goddamn mouth.
Superman does. So whatever we do is not gonna hurt James Gunn life. Even we talk shit about it. It's not. He's already a success guy that I really respect. Superman is gonna go on, and in 2 years we're gonna have another Superman regardless. So let's just enjoy it. In Latin America, we got a really rough joke. I'm gonna say it. It's really rough. But they say if you're gonna take the rape, at least relax and enjoy it, bro.
That's not a joke. That's like a weird
That's how
song.
It's a joke in a cultural Latin America. I was clear. It's a joke in Latin America. You pompous American. Oh, you use the word rape. Oh.
Or
Anyway.
you could just not go to the movie theater.
What are we talking about? If you don't like Superman, don't go and watch it, but at least try it. I'm talking to general, not to you, Jake. But if you're gonna go there just to talk trash about something that you guys never gonna be able to do, don't go. Don't go. Anyway, talking to more less profound thing. Thank you everyone for the votes. We're still in fourth place. We're there, but this week it goes to the best 10. And next week to the top 5, and next week to the top 2, and we'll be stuck. We are stuck in fourth place for a while. We need to jump to third place. I saw your post, Justin. I saw your post, Jake. Thank you. We need to keep voting. It's an everyday vote. Just for the record, I can see who votes. I really see the names of the people that vote. So the ones that are not voting, stop bullshitting and just vote. It's not hard. Gonna just follow the link. You put the link downstairs, Jake?
It should be. If not, I will add it. But yes,
just click on it. You're gonna press 2 clicks, and then you're gonna be already voting. I know I'm asking a lot for 6 seconds of your whole 24-hour days a day, but come on, neighbor, please. I'm talking to you and everyone, including you, Jake. Look up. Talking to you. Look up. You got it, Superman. That's the slogan of the movie. Look up. Anyway, that was me. That was Virus Box today. Thank you for all our sponsors. Thank you about everything. Thank you, Jake boy. We have recommendations because you asked for recommendations.
Yep.
Go first.
So my movie recommendation, we actually touched on it already, but in keeping with the theme of Superman, I highly recommend that if you haven't already, you can check out Superman Red Sun. It's a really fun what-if movie. Surprisingly good. It was better than I thought it was going to be. And I like it because communists still lose in the end. So,
okay, I'm going to start with, because I make my list differently. I apologize. I'm going to recommend something really, really underground. This guy start following Again and Forever, and it's an alternative band from Germany. The name of the band is Saint Leonard and Lol Hammond. All right, their song is called The Red Book. That single is called The Red Book. Jake, do you know who Brian Eno is Brian Eno? For all the people who don't know who Brian Eno is, he produced every album from the first 6 albums from U2 was Brian Eno, the producer. For all that are super fans, he was the keyboard player from a band called Roxy Music that transformed the music in the 60s and 70s. So that being said, this song is produced by Brian Eno and the guys. Imagine, Jake, that you're listening an album of U2, okay? Sing by David Bowie. I'm not kidding. So yeah, check that out. Next recommendation, Jakey boy.
So for television, if you have not already seen it again, it actually contains my favorite Superman moment is the Justice League animated series, specifically the last, I can't remember, I think it's at the end of Justice League, not Justice League Unlimited, but it's one of those. But that has the moment where Superman squares off with Darkseid and has the whole, like, you know, I have to constantly be in control, but you can take it, can't you, big guy? And then he just wrecks his shit. It's that, to me, I think if anyone gets hired to make a Superman movie, they should be required, if they do nothing else, watch that scene. And to me, that's certainly the representation of Superman that I like the best.
Okay.
It's a really good series, though.
Okay, I'll give you that. TV, we're doing TV, right? Because my order was a little different.
Television show.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go back to what I've been praying the whole show, the new Superman and Lois, Superman. I got it here, Superman and Lois TV show series. I think that actor is the best Superman I ever seen because of his age or what we talk. He's a mature Superman, but you can see a real man in love with Lois and doing whatever it takes. And if he's in control, just to say yes to Lois every time that she's doing a tantrum, he's triple control, right? I mean, the show should be called Happy Wife, Happy Life with superpower. Superman and Lois.
Happy Wife, Super Life.
There you go. Yeah, so that's my recommendation for TV. Movies?
Music.
I already give my music.
Oh, okay. Well, I need to get my music. Sorry. So, my music recommendation, because I already recommended Daughtry's Waiting for Superman, I must recommend this time.
Forever.
Well, no, because it's Superman. I must recommend Kryptonite by the very, very exquisitely talented Three Doors Down.
Yeah. And shit, I hope he gets better.
I do too, man.
The singer has last 2 weeks he came saying that he got stage 3 cancer, I think.
Yeah.
Hopefully he goes 3 doors up. I'm not 3 doors down. Anyway, sorry.
Well, it depends on what floor oncology's on.
Thank you for saving my bad joke. Movies. HBO original Superman, the Christopher Reeve story, the documentary. I highly recommend it. You will see the story of Christopher Reeve, how he went from nothing to everything, and then life took everything away from him in a riding accident, and he became paraplegic. And the way that he continued his life.
I have to go get my next recommendation.
Yeah, and the way that he continued with life is really interesting because it's an intimate portrait of the actor and activist Christopher Reeve, whose remarkable life proved you don't need to cape and tights to be a hero. So yeah, it's in HBO. I'm installed in HBO this week, so I've been digging all HBO. So my recommendation of a streaming service for this week, it will be HBO. I just come with that recommendation. Meanwhile, Jake, get back. Remember to vote, people. I will always be grateful if you vote. So yeah, just keep going and keep, helping us to get to the point. I made a new. When you went away, I make a new category.
Okay.
It's called the streaming service of the week. So I'm gonna call HBO Max. I like it.
Yeah. So my random, it's not really weird, but my sort of random dealer's choice is a documentary, which is available on HBO Max, by the way, because it was produced by Warner Brothers. This is a fantastic documentary about comics and the history of comics. Secret Origin, the story of DC Comics. Nice. It's a very, very good documentary. Actually, this isn't the one I thought it was, but it's a very good documentary. So, pretty lengthy for all of you, like, really hardcore fans. I believe, if this is the one I'm thinking of, because it's been a minute, this also touches on some of the other companies that DC acquired, like Fawcett Comics and what's the M one? Oh,
Wow.
that had Static Shock and Icon and hang on. I don't want to leave it because they had some fantastic stuff.
So meanwhile, I'm gonna do my random. More recommendation. I was gonna make a note. Yesterday was they confirmed that Spaceballs #2 is getting done. So please just follow their official sites and everything on social media. It's just a
Milestone.
movie that is gonna know a lot because Mel Brooks, every attempt that he got to make something fun in this age is been hard. So he needs us people because he's a really funny guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank goodness we're finally getting Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a funny one. It's gonna be a funny one.
Greatest long-term joke ever.
Which one? Oh, that one, yeah.
God willing, we'll all meet again in Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money.
30 years?
Love it. And it was Milestone Comics. I feel really dumb
Milestone.
for forgetting. Yeah.
You are dumb, but we love you either way.
I know. It's
actually I didn't know what you were talking. Milestone Comics, great publishing. I'm missing one recommendation. No. What is your movie? What is your movie?
I did Superman Red Son.
Oh yeah. TV book. Nah, we're not gonna do book. Oh yeah, you know what? My weird recommendation. X-Wing board game, right? I just got it. Learning it's a good combination between a card game with figuring games and the distance of the flying speed and everything matters. I'm getting there, but what I love about this game is it's a board game, but you can buy the different spaceships separately. So I already ordered the Millennium Falcon. It's gonna take a long time to get here, and the Boba Fett spaceship is out of stock, so I'm waiting. but yeah, I can't wait to have them. Have fun, everyone. See you in a week. Be good and respectful to each other. The country needs us. The people need us. Let's just focus in help each other. Period. Talking bullshit doesn't help. Making a change helps more. Be your own Superman. And thank you for wearing Green Lantern.
Where'd that come? I gotta represent. I also don't have a Superman shirt, so I had to represent. Oh yeah, yours was nice.
Oh really? Let me clean my ears.
Oh, speaking of which, you want my inner old man.
For you. Wait. You want to see a magic trick? Oh, I couldn't do it. Didn't work out. All right, buddy. Have a good night. Everyone. Let's stay together.